welcome to the Old Time Radio Westerns. I'm your host, Andrew Rines, and let's get into this episode. This episode is going to be The Lone Ranger. Original air date is March 31st, 1947. The title is Railroad Survey, and I hope you enjoy.
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo, Silver, the Lone Ranger. With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. Nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver. Let's go, big fellow. I'll Silver. Away!
The Lone Ranger and Tonto were camped in a small clearing among a dense stand of trees. They heard the clump of approaching hoofs long before the horsemen came near.
Coming this way, Tonto. Not right. Better get out of sight before we see who it is. Go next to the horses, huh? Yes. I like to see strangers before they see us.
Whoa there.
Another strike camp. Steady there, Silver. Quiet, boy. Now you see, fella? Yes. Curious about the camp. Look in the door. And young fella. Doesn't look like a troublemaker. Come on. Hello there. That food has just been cooked. You're hungry, help yourself.
Masked?
Most people who make that observation accuse me of being an outlaw.
Well, that is...
Have you been surveying for the new railroad?
How'd you know?
Your clothes.
Oh, I see.
You're a long way from your job, aren't you?
What if I am?
Well, I haven't the answer to that question. It really doesn't matter. Hal and I were just about to eat. You're welcome if you care to join us.
You don't talk like like I'd expect.
Like a Western outlaw?
Well, yes.
Sit down. Does Flagstead know you're taking a day off?
Flagstead? You know him?
He's your boss, isn't he?
No.
He's in charge of the survey.
He was my boss until he fired me.
Oh?
Yeah, food. Bacon, plenty good.
Well,
Go ahead, we have plenty.
Gosh, I am hungry. Thanks.
Flagstead is a hard man to work for.
Do you know him?
Yes, I've heard of him.
I see. I don't suppose you've heard of me.
No, I don't even know your name.
It's Dave Russell. Flagstead fired me. He said I was, he fired me for insubordination and incompetence.
Huh? What did you do?
Maybe I was insubordinate. I sent a report to St. Louis without letting Flagstead see it. But by thunder, I'm not incompetent, and I'm going to prove it.
You are?
You're doggone right I am. And I'm going to make myself some easy money at the same time.
Oh. How?
I'll do it by figuring out right now what it'll take Flagstead a couple of weeks to figure out.
The route of the new railroad?
How'd you know?
That's the only thing Flagstead has to figure out. That's why he and his crew are in this part of the country.
Oh. Well, you're right.
How do you plan to cash in on what you do?
Easy. I'll buy up the land the railroad will need.
That will take considerable cash.
I've got a little cash. Enough to swing a couple of deals.
Why don't you take your cash and go back east?
Not on your life. I'm going to stick around here and find out what Flagstead's up to.
What do you mean?
Well, the Polecant's up to something. And it's shady business. He knew I suspected a few things, and that was the main reason he wanted to get rid of me.
Oh?
And I'm sticking around. And while I'm doing it, I'll make myself more cash than he'd have paid me.
Buying up the land the railroad will want, huh?
Yes.
You think the tracks will run through the town of Red Rock?
Maybe. I'll know better after I look the ground over. Why?
There's a rancher there. His name is Talbot. He needs cash and would probably sell some of his land for very little.
Talbot, huh?
Yeah, Glenn Talbot.
I'll remember that. Glenn Talbot of Red Rock.
Dave Russell left the small camp soon after the meal, but the Lone Ranger didn't forget the young engineer. A couple of weeks went by, and then a horseman rode up and dismounted before a tent that served as a portable headquarters for Kurt Flagstead, the head of the survey crew.
Ho, ho, ho! Hi there, Al.
Flagstead.
You got lots to tell me.
There's just one thing I want to know. How'd you make out in Pine City?
First rate.
Good. Leave your horse there and come on inside my tent.
When I explained that it was a toss-up, one of the tracks that run through Pine City or Base Corners, people in Pine City held a meeting and raised $1,000.
You got the 1,000?
Right here.
Right in my bunk. I'll give you your share.
Try it. Ranchers are glad to kick in, so as to be sure the train would run close to them.
They'll get what they paid for.
He could have got twice that much.
We'll do better at Red Rock.
Yeah?
Yeah. With Red Rock on one side of the ridge and Valley Center on the other side, there'll be a heap of rivalry between the two towns as to which one will get the railroad.
Well, which one will get it?
Red Rock, that's a logical place. But of course, the tracks will go wherever I say.
Red Rock,
What about it?
Here's something that'll interest you, Flagstead.
Well,
Dave Russell has bought part of a ranch near Red Rock.
David.
Yeah. What do you make of that?
I don't know what to make of it. I don't like it.
You'll know what the game is if you try to take any cash from the people of Red Rock.
Yes. He's already suspicious of me.
Maybe it'd be better to deal with the Valley Center people.
No, that's no good either. Russell knows his business. He'll know there's something crooked if we put the tracks anywhere but Red Rock.
So what do we do?
Well, there's only one answer.
Yeah?
Kid should have gone back east where he belongs.
But he didn't.
No, he didn't. So he'll have to go west.
West?
I mean that as a figure of speech.
You mean... Flagstead. You mean kill him?
Take care of it, Al. I want him out of the way when I get to Red Rock. Out of the way. Savvy?
Yeah, boss, Yeah, I savvy.
The Lone Ranger and Tonto had moved their camp to the side of a hill overlooking the town of Red Rock and the Talbot Ranch nearby. There they kept watch.
I picked up a little information while I was in town today, Tonto.
What that?
Talbot got the cash he needed.
Won't Dave Russell buy rent?
Oh, no, not all of it. He wants 10% interest in the ranch.
That's good.
It's the way I hoped it would be. If the railroad buys the property, Talbot and his daughter will benefit as well as the young surveyor.
You think the railroad go through Red Rock?
Well, will unless...
What's that?
Unless Flagstead is bribed to run the tracks on the north side of the range through Valley Center.
That's not good for Railroad.
No, but it would be very good for Flagstead. I wonder if that's the sort of game he's been playing.
Dave know him up to something?
Yes. Wish he'd told us what he suspected. We might have been able to take more direct action.
Ah. Now, where's Dave Russell now?
He's living at the Talbot Ranch. He and the... Look over there, Tonto. The level stretch at the foot of the mountain.
Ah. 2 horses.
Dave Russell and Jane Talbot.
Them look plenty friendly.
Yeah. I think we'll ride down there tonight and try to have another talk with Dave.
Oh, why do that?
He's trying to get evidence against Flagstead. He's up against hard opposition. I want to help him.
Flagstead, plenty powerful.
Not only that, Tonto. Flagstead is ruthless. He'll not let anyone like Dave Russell interfere with his plans.
Dave Russell and the daughter of the ranch owner rode slowly through the valley.
Why, Dave, you shouldn't say such things.
I mean it, Jane. In the past few days, I've changed all my ideas about going back east. And you're to blame for it.
Neither of the riders knew that they were being watched from the side of the hill, not only by the Lone Ranger and Tonto, but also by 2 other men some distance away who peered from behind massive rocks. Al had hired a sharpshooter.
It's a mighty long shot from here, Al.
Don't start making excuses, Hawk. This job didn't call for long-range rifle play. I could have handled it myself.
Maybe if we wait a little while, Dave and the girl will come closer. They're riding his way.
You can't wait all day. You've been bragging about how you could hit anything that you could see.
Yeah,
Well, you can see
but-
Dave Russell. Now go on, hit him. Wait until they get any closer. The girl might spot us when we make our getaway.
All right. I'll do my best.
Now, as soon as you've shot, we'll hightail over the ridge toward Valley Center.
I'll rest my rifle on this rock.
Now, take all the time you need. Just be sure you don't miss.
How do you think your father would take it if I was to stay here from him?
Why, Dave, you don't know a thing about ranching.
Don't you suppose I could learn?
Perhaps.
I'd hate to stay here if I thought you didn't want me to, Jane.
Oh, it really doesn't matter.
Oh, Jane, why can't you take me seriously? I mean,
Dave! That sounded like... Dave!
oh, gosh,
Dave, you're hit. You're shot.
that's funny. I don't feel a thing.
Dave, be careful. Don't fall. Let me help you. Now, stay in that saddle. Oh, there, steady, boy. Oh, Dave. Dave, I can't hold you. Steady.
When Dave lost consciousness, the girl wasn't strong enough to hold him in the saddle. He fell to the ground and lay there motionless.
Dave. Dave, speak to me. Oh, dear, what am I going to do?
Jane tore the shirt away from the wound and realized that Dave's condition was critical. Then she heard hoofbeats. She turned and saw a masked man and an Indian coming fast.
Jane.
Dave, they're coming. They're coming to finish their work. Oh, if we'd only brought our guns.
Who are they?
It's a masked man on a white horse and an Indian. Dave!
Who's the boy?
You murderers! You killed him!
Bring the canteens, Tonto.
You'll not get away with this. You'll be caught even though you kill me, too.
Him dead?
Heart's still beating, Tonto.
Did you hear me? You'll pay for this. You'll hang, both of you.
We didn't fire that shot, Miss Talbot.
You know me?
The shot came from the mountain range some distance west of where we were. We'll bathe this wound, see what it looks like.
He's dying, isn't he?
We don't know yet.
He is, I know he is. He's not already dead. And you killed him.
More water, Tonto.
Here.
You killed him and you're going to pay. I'm going to get my father.
The shot came from
I
the
don't
other...
believe a word you say. Anything, Black.
Miss Talbot, if you'll wait until we do what we can for
I'll wait
Dave,
for
we'll...
nothing. I'm going to get the law on you. Get up there, Black.
Girl make trouble.
Let her go, Tonto. This boy needs all of our attention if he's going to survive.
Girl think we shoot him.
Yes, I know.
Well, him die, lawman hunt for us.
That's just one of the reasons why Dave Russell must not die.
curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. Now to continue our story. Jane Talbot brought word of the shooting to her father, who reported to the sheriff. Within an hour, a posse started out in search of the masked man and his Indian companion. It was a manhunt that went on for several days. A search that spread throughout the rugged mountain range that separated Red Rock from the town of Valley Center. But it was a futile search. There was no trace of the suspected men, no trace of Dave's body. Then Flagstead and his crew reached the vicinity, and the scheming engineer met Jeb Talbot. The two discussed Dave Russell's fate outside Talbot's ranch house.
I suppose the law has made a thorough search for the killers.
No doubt of that. They must have lit out of this part of the country.
I hope so.
Say, Mr. Flagstead, I don't suppose you've got any idea which side of the mountains the tracks will run, have you?
Not yet, Talbot.
You would mean a lot to the ranches around Red Rock if they was to come on this side.
I dare say.
But there's more people to benefit on this side. Top of that, Red Rock's the county seat.
We have to take a lot of things into consideration in laying out the right of way.
Yeah, I expect you do.
And the decision is in my hands. It's a very heavy responsibility.
Gosh, it sure must be.
I must be very careful to make the right decisions.
Mm-hmm.
It's a difficult decision under any conditions. It's especially hard when a man has so many other things to worry about.
Why, how's that?
Well, I have a great deal on my mind, Talbot.
You mean the masked killer?
Well, not exactly. Yeah, I might as well tell you. I have some heavy obligations.
You mean you owe money?
Yes. A substantial sum. $10,000.
Ooh, that's a sizable amount.
I tell you, Talbot, I'd do almost anything to raise that cash.
Mm-hmm. I wonder...
Yes?
Oh, maybe I better keep my mouth shut.
Go ahead. What were you about to say?
Well, I was just thinking. I wouldn't suggest anything like bribery, but maybe if the Red Rock people was to show you that they're downright responsible and willing to help a man out of trouble, it might help in deciding where the tracks should run.
Oh, Talbot, I couldn't accept a bribe.
No, I know.
But, I'm not going to make the decision for a couple of days. Perhaps we might have another talk after you've discussed the subject with your friends.
Good.
You can always find me in my camp.
You'll hear from me.
Fine. Well, I'd better be on my way. Let me know if there's any word of those murders.
Right. You'll hear from me.
Goodbye, Talbot.
Bye.
Dad, I heard everything.
Jane.
I was at the side of the house. That man is crooked. He wants to be bribed.
Oh, Jane, you...
The tracks will go through Red Rock whether you pay him or not. Dave said they had to go through here.
Well, they don't have to, Jane. Flagstead can put him where he wants to.
What, $10,000?
If Red Rock don't pay it, the Valley Center ranchers will jump at the chance. It'd make Valley Center a bigger town than Red Rock.
But, Dad...
No use talking, honey. Just as much as said it'll cost us $10,000 to get the railroad. Downright robbery. But it'll be worth it. I'm going to saddle up and call on some of the boys right now.
Oh, Dad, you... Oh.
Jane ran up the steps and into the house. Then she halted abruptly.
You... The masked man.
Yes, Jane. Please don't be frightened.
How did you get in here?
The back door was open.
But you killed...
Here's a note for you. From Dave Russell.
Dave?
Yes, he's alive.
Alive?
He'll soon be ready to ride.
Let me see the note.
There you are. I think that note will convince you that Tonto and I didn't fire the shot.
Yes. Yes, it does. According to this, you know a lot about Mr. Flagstead.
Yes.
Why don't you tell Father?
We don't want to warn Flagstead. We want to get evidence against him.
Oh.
When he and your father were talking out in front, did he ask for money?
Yes, he did. $10,000. Father's going to try to get the ranchers to raise it.
They'll agree to pay it, all right. They know what the railroad means to them.
Dave Russell says I should trust you.
Do you?
Yes. I think I do.
You'll help us to trap Flagstead?
Is he the one who shot Dave?
No, but I'm sure he was involved.
Can you get the man who did the actual shooting?
I think we can. We followed the trail.
How can I help?
Can you persuade your father to bring the cash to our camp before he delivers it to Flagstead?
Where is your camp?
I've made a map. Here it is.
You've been there all the time?
Yes, and when you see the place, you'll understand why the lawman couldn't find us.
I'll do my best to persuade Father to go there. As a matter of fact, I'm going with him.
Dave will be glad to see you.
It was the following day when Jane and her father, accompanied by half a dozen of the ranch owners who had contributed their money, approached the Lone Ranger's cleverly concealed camp.
There they are. And there's Jane riding alongside her father.
Your note did the trick, Dave.
Dave! Dave, you're alive.
Almost as good as new, Jane.
Mighty good to see you, partner. We all thought you'd been killed.
I would have been if these two hadn't found me.
Who's this masked man?
He's my friend. Did you bring the money?
Yep, I got it right here.
I hate like thunder to pay out good money to get the railroad, but, well, if we don't pay up, Valley Center will.
Just a minute. Otto, you know what you're to do.
You know.
It's time you got started.
Be ready. Get 'em up, Scout.
Jane said you had some kind of a plan, mister. It better be good.
Flagstead's expecting you, Talbot. Are you ready to deliver the cash?
Yes, sir.
All right, now listen carefully. Flagstead will be in his tent. Deliver the cash just as he told you to. And while you're there, here's what's going to happen.
It was an hour later. Flagstead and his partner Al were in the headquarters tent when they heard a horse approach and stop outside.
Hey, Flagstead. It's that rancher Talbot.
Good. He acted sooner than I expected. Pull the tent flap back.
Right.
Hi there, Talbot.
Hello, Flagstead. I was hoping I'd find you here. Where's all your men?
They're out on a survey job.
Flagstead, I think it'd be better if you and I spoke alone.
Oh, it's all right, Talbot. Al here's my partner. He understands my, my problems, and he'll be mighty glad to see them solved.
Oh, I'm savvy.
And I hope you found a way to solve them for me.
The cash is right here in this sack.
Put it on that table.
You better be sure the railroad goes through Red Rock.
Don't worry, Talbot. It will.
Hey, what the...
Freeze!
Hey, Russell, you have...
Hold it, Flagstead. Don't go for a gun.
Dave, where did you come from?
Looks like you're all surprised to see me alive.
Just a minute, Dave.
From now on, I'm on my own. I'm being paid as I go along.
But wait a minute.
For what? Talbot, you go back and tell your pals they'll get the tracks they paid for. They'd have got them without you taking up a collection.
I see.
You brought the cash. That's all you've got to do. Get going.
Hold on. Maybe we shouldn't let Talbot go.
You'll have to argue with this gun if you want to stop him. Go on, Talbot. Get going.
Sure, I'm going.
He shouldn't be allowed to get away. You tell everyone about paying us.
How can he prove it?
Well, I
Shut
don't-
up, pal. Get this, Flagstead. From now on, I'm cutting in, and I'm going to have something to say about the way things are done.
There goes Talbot.
I suspected your game, Flagstead, but I couldn't prove anything. I had the idea that I was doing the right thing when I sent that report to Washington. What a mistake I made. I just set myself for a bullet from one of your killers.
Now, look here, Dave. Listen.
You do the listening. You've been playing a piker's game. You can collect 3 or 4 times as much as you have been. I know because I've seen the rancher's point of view.
Maybe we could use you, Dave.
How much do you figure on collecting from Pine Tree?
Well, I thought the ranchers there would pay as much as $5,000.
They'll pay $10,000 at least. And I'm going to have a share of it.
Maybe we can do business.
What's more, I'm going to have a share of all you two have collected in the past.
Now, hold on. That's going too far.
Shut up, Al. I'm still holding the gun. Don't forget that. When did you two collect from the ranchers at Grant's Path?
That is...
Speak up. What did you collect?
We only got a few $100 there.
What about the next town, Rocky River? Took over 1,000 away from those ranchers, didn't you? Come on, answer up. You know you got plenty at Rocky River because you laid the tracks out in a curve to deliver what those men paid for.
All right, I'll lay the cards on the table. We only got $1,200.
You got no claim on what we did in the past. Now, look here, Dave. I'll show you why.
You better stay where you are, Al.
Let me show you what I got in my pocket here. Look at this.
I got him.
Fooled him.
Grab him. Hold on to him, Al. I'll get my gun and crease his skull.
You double crosses.
Get his errand behind him, Al. Hang on, Dave.
But I'm trying to. Hurry up with your gun. Let him have it.
Don't try it.
Hey, look!
I'll be careful. I'll break your other arm. You, masked.
Hey, where'd you come from?
I was outside listening to you two. I wasn't alone. Morning, men.
We heard it all. We heard you, Flagstead.
We got the goods on you. Half a dozen of them.
Talbot, you still here?
You're doggone right. You're finished, Flagstead. Even that masked man made you tell all about your thieving.
One thing more to settle. Which one of you tried to kill Dave? I didn't do that.
One of you did. You or Al. Which one was it, Flagstead?
Well, it wasn't me. It was Hawk. I swear it was Hawk, and he's gone. He's not here.
I won't take all the blame. Who's that? Bring him in, Tonto.
Yeah, bring that gunslinger in here.
Getting the blame on me, huh? Oh, Huck, wait a minute.
Flagstead, you paid me for that shooting.
Shut up, you...
I won't shut up. I wasn't alone on it. You were with me, Al.
Why, Get back there, Al. Looks like we got all 3 of you. Tie 'em up, boys, and we'll deliver 'em to the law.
Right.
The shooting charge will hold 'em till the federal government can take over.
It looks like the whole survey job will have to be done over.
I know the man we'll recommend for it.
The masked man, huh?
I'm thinking of Dave Russell, a doggone good engineer. Oh, but speaking of that masked man, where is he?
He just left the tent with the Indian.
Hey, get him. Bring him back here. We owe him plenty. He saved us a pile of money. Well, there he goes. He's riding away.
I guess he figures his job's done.
But, Dave, we don't even know who he is. Do you?
I know. He's called the Lone Ranger.
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated.
This has been a presentation of OTRWesterns.com, and we hope you enjoyed. Please take some time to like and rate our shows in your favorite podcast application. Follow us on Facebook by going to OTRWesterns.com/Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel by going to OTRWesterns.com/YouTube. And send us an email, podcast@OTRWesterns.com. You can call and leave us a voicemail, 707-986-8739. This episode is copyright under the Attribution Non-Commercial Share Alike Copyright. For more information, go to OTRWesterns.com/copyright. Have a great day, and thanks for listening.